Here are the tools required. Grab a 13mm and start by removing the strut tower brace. Now would be a good time to upgrade your factory brace to a Steeda strut tower brace. Now you can remove the brace from the vehicle. Go ahead and loosen the hose clamps on the factory intake with a 7mm socket or flathead. On the passenger side, you can see here where the other end of the tube is clamped on. This also needs to be loosened. Now the passenger side tube can be wiggled loose and removed. Loosen the driver's side clamp at the airbox. Then a pry tool can be used to pull the tab securing the fitting to the intake tube. For the lower fitting, you can press down on the green section and go ahead and release it. Your vehicle might have a permanent hose for the PCV line. This will have an orange connector. S&B supplies these pieces to get underneath and release this hose to be reused. There is a link in the description showing you the exact process. Down below on the driver's side tube is the other end of the PCV line. Press on this gray tab and pull the connector off. Repeat up top and you can now remove the PCV line. The other hose clamp for the driver's side intake tube is at the turbo, which is a bit difficult to film, but this gives you an idea. Here you can see the black clamp that needs to be removed. The correct pliers would be very helpful here, as this is the most difficult portion of the installation. Once you have the clamp loose, the intake tube can be pulled off. And now, remove it from the vehicle. Grab a piece of tape to cover the turbo. Again, a bit difficult to film, but one piece of tape covers the inlet nicely. Back up top, disconnect the sensor on the factory airbox. And there is a zip tie that needs to be cut to free the harness. Plus a few clips holding it to the airbox. Use a trim tool to remove those. Now, pop the metal clips securing the lid back and pull the lid off. The panel filter can also be removed. This cap on the back that was holding the wire harness can be pulled off or unscrewed. In a deep socket, 10mm is needed to remove the nut holding the airbox in place. Pull up on the box to dislocate it from the grommets below. There are two clips to push in on the front scoop to release it from the box itself. Go ahead and push up on the metal washer to remove it. We will transfer this over to the new S&B Cold Air kit. The rubber grommet will also be transferred over. Get that in place in this hole inside the S&B box. Then the metal washer will go in. These studs on the bottom of the box will go into these grommets on the Explorer, so make sure those are lined up when you get it into the engine bay. The front scoop can be pushed in so it now locks into place. Go ahead and tighten down the airbox assembly with a 10mm nut. Grab the gasket and the quick connect plate and make sure the holes are lined up properly. They are not symmetrical, so pay attention. Use the included screws and a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten everything down. Install the grommet for the air intake temperature sensor, with the tab facing the right way. For the 2025 models, install the included Bundy connector cap into this fitting. Rotate the temp sensor on the factory box until it can be removed. You can see how it is secured on the inside. Transfer it over to the S&B intake tube. You want to rotate it so the tab on the sensor is just past the ramp on the grommet. Get some Teflon tape on the black plastic fitting and install it into the other S&B intake tube. A few threads will be showing after it's tightened all the way down, so do not over-tighten this. The anti-surge piece can go on this end. The tab will line up with these indents. There is only one way to install this piece. Get the step coupler onto that end of the tube with one of the size 40 hose clamps. Go ahead and tighten it down all the way. Then the size 32 clamp can be loosely installed on the other end. The largest coupler will go on the first S&B tube with a size 56 hose clamp. Go ahead and tighten down this clamp completely. The last coupler will go on the intake tube that has no fittings, and it will be secured with a size 40 hose clamp. Get the filters into the box for now. We'll need to properly secure them later. If your vehicle doesn't have a blow-off valve, like our 2025, install this cap into this opening. The smallest hose clamp can be used to tighten this down. The step coupler will connect to the driver's side turbo. Remove the tape first and then make sure the tube is fully seated. An extension is helpful in tightening down this hose clamp. Now the intake tube with the fittings can connect to that lower section. A short flathead might be easier than using a socket here. Go ahead and plug in those connectors on the back. Now that the filters need to be seated in the airbox, there's a built-in rubber seal on the filter that will seal around the opening. Pull from the outside rather than pushing the filter, as this can bend the filter fins. Go ahead and do this on both sides. Then use the size 64 hose clamp to secure the intake tube to the box. Connect your factory PCV line back up, or use the included hose to make a new one if needed. The passenger side intake tube can now be installed. Go ahead and get the hose clamps tightened down. Make sure the clamp is in the right spot. Then peel the film off the acrylic cover and get the rubber seal around it. Press it into place, making sure it is flush with the box. It's a tight fit, so start with one corner and work your way around. Last, plug the connector into the air intake temperature sensor, and your installation is now complete. For more products like this S&B Cold Air Kit, visit Steeda.com. And remember, Steeda, where speed matters.